Are you a fan of the comic series Cyanide Happiness? If you answered yes, then check out my review of Cyanide Happiness Freakpocalypse coming up next on Mumbles. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Mumbles. In today's episode of Mumbles, I'm reviewing this. This, my friends, is Cyanide Happiness Freakpocalypse, Episode 1. Cyanide Happy Freakpocalypse is a game that is based off the Cyanide Happiness comics, set in the same universe with the same type of artwork. And it has the same type of jokes. So, guys, if you are easily offended by Cyanide Happiness, the comic, I can already tell you right off the bat, this is not the game for you. But before we get into this review, I do have to ask you guys all a huge favor. If you have not already, please do subscribe to the channel, ring the little notification bell, and drop a like on the video. Guys, it helps the channel to grow, and just know how much I appreciate it. So guys, now we have some basic information coming, starting with the systems. This thing is available on Steam and Nintendo Switch for a price of $15 at the time of this review. As far as the game itself goes, in the first episode, you're basically tasked with helping to guide Coop through a day in school and a few other things that I won't spoil. But by the end of this episode, you will 100% understand where the game is going in the next 2 episodes. One thing I do have to say about this game is it does have an M rating for a reason. In the first 20 minutes or so of this game, you will be hit with a lot of M-rated topics, including a certain teacher fulfilling a certain fantasy of his in the middle of school. So guys, that is the basic information about this game. We're going to come to the graphics, the soundtrack, to the controls. First off, the graphics in this game 100% looks like a Cyanide and Happiness comic. If you like that style of art style, you're going to love this game 100%. Finally, control-wise, guys, I am playing this thing on the Nintendo Switch, and I could say that the controls were a little bit difficult to pick up and play because you have to use sticks to highlight things, which makes it a little bit hard, but that's kind of a thing with all point-and-click adventure games on the Nintendo Switch, so I'm not taking off any points for that, but I do want to make you aware of it. Finally, guys, gameplay-wise, this is a point-and-click adventure. So basically, in this game, you're going to be tasked with doing a couple different things. You're going to be tasked with finding things. You're going to be tasked with completing puzzles. And you're going to be tasked with moving Coop around and moving him through his day. So that's basically what the gameplay is. There is a main story and there are some side quests that you can choose whether or not you want to do. But guys, that's basically the gameplay. It is a point-and-click adventure. If you've seen one point-and-click adventure, you have seen them all. Nothing really changes here. It's not, woo, look at all this cool gameplay. It's really kind of just the same thing that we've seen from the point-and-click genre all the time, but with Cyanide and Happiness put into it. Guys, now we come to the cons. The first con is that this game is short. If you just do the main mission without doing any side missions, you're going to have about 3 hours of gameplay. That's all. You do all the side quests with it, you may have 5 to 6 hours of gameplay. That is what it is. The second con is that this thing is rather expensive. I mentioned $15. $15 for a 3-hour or 5-hour game, maybe a little bit steep for some people. Now we come to the third con. There isn't a huge amount of replayability. Once you've seen a joke once, it's not as funny the second time. Once you've done something once, it's not as funny. There's not alternate paths in this thing, so there isn't a huge amount of replayability. There is, in as much as if you want to 100% this thing, get all the quests done and everything, there is replayability in that regard, but otherwise not a lot of replayability. Guys, now let's talk about is what I'm going to give Cyanide and Happiness Freakpocalypse Episode 1 on today's Mumbles review. Guys, Cyanide and Happiness is a comic that I grew up reading. It came out at a time when certain things were accepted and certain things today aren't as accepted. So this comic is one that many people may find offensive and may not like the way it talks and may not like the things it does. But guys, if you're a fan of Cyanide and Happiness, you are 100% going to love this game if you're a hardcore fan. Now, with that being said, it is a point-and-click adventure, so you're going to have to taper your expectation to knowing that it's not, this isn't South Park Stick of Truth. It's not that kind of game. It is a point-and-click adventure. And guys, point-and-click adventures can only do so much. I love it for the humor of Cyanide and Happiness. As a Cyanide and Happiness, someone who read that stuff as growing up, I love it for that. But as someone who is a game reviewer, I have to look at this game and give it a fair review. So guys, on today's Mumbles review, I am giving this thing a 6 out of 10. If you love Cyanide and Happiness, get this game. If you are a hardcore Cyanide and Happiness fan, get this game. If you like those kind of jokes, go look at the comic online and you can decide right away whether or not you want to get this game. But guys, know that it is a point-and-click adventure. You're going to be finding objects and doing that kind of stuff, and that kind of stuff really doesn't change. With that being said, I do recommend this game to people out there who like these kind of games. It's a fantastic game. And just know exactly what it is and what you're getting into. Anyways, guys, this has been my review of Cyanide Happiness Freakpocalypse. I hope you guys all enjoyed this. Please smack that subscribe button, smack the like button, smack all those buttons. I'll see you guys all in the next video. Bye, everyone. Take care.